Just over a year ago, Sugar Shane Mosley was considered by most boxing critics the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport.
That is a flat-out knockout by Shane Mosley.
At 38-0, he had defeated all challengers in both the lightweight and welterweight divisions. The centerpiece of that record, an impressive victory over Oscar De La Hoya. But last year, Mosley twice faced an old nemesis from his amateur days, Vernon Forrest, and his unblemished professional record was torn apart by consecutive losses.
Vernon Forrest blocked Shane Mosley with the right hand, and Mosley is in huge trouble.
Some say Forrest, since beaten, is merely a very good fighter who has a great fighter's number. Others argue the two defeats exposed Mosley as a once great champion whose best days are behind him.
I don't fear any fighter, regardless of who it is. I don't fear him. The best way to prove that I am still the best is to keep knocking guys out.
So Mosley, who has been a world champion in 2 weight classes, now moves up to a 3rd, facing former 154-pound titleist Raul Marquez. Can Marquez make this another bump in the decline of a once great champion? Or is this Mosley's first step on the road back to the top? The answer comes tonight. Shane Mosley versus Raul Marquez is next.
In 2003, we're celebrating 30 years of boxing coverage, building legends one round at a time. Tonight's attempt to do so brings an interesting doubleheader. In our main event, Shane Mosley, in his first fight since a pair of losses to Vernon Forrest, moves up in weight to take on former 154-pound title holder Raul Marquez. But first, there's a lot of danger out there for Sugar Shane Mosley, attempting to rebuild his reputation as a boxer, having fallen from the ranks of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the business. Not only is Mosley coming off a pair of losses to Forrest, but Shane's also now moved from 147 to 154 pounds. Will Texan Raul Marquez be too big for Mosley, or will Shane begin the long road back to ultimate glory? Answers begin tonight. The main event, Raul Marquez, who's been campaigning as a middleweight, saw the opportunity to go back down to 154 pounds, the weight class in which he spent the overwhelming bulk of his professional career, to fight Shane Mosley. Mosley coming off of his 2 defeats against Vernon Forrest last year, moving up in weight and looking at a possible rematch with Oscar De La Hoya if he can get past Marquez tonight. At Las Vegas on this chilly night along the strip behind the green door of Las Vegas lie all of the sinful delights of mankind. Some of them legal and some of them not. Still to come, Shane Mosley against Raul Marquez. The fight takes place at 154 pounds in Mosley's first visit to that weight class. Former lightweight champion, former welterweight champion of the world, now moving up 7 pounds to junior middleweight. Prior to his 2 devastating losses to Vernon Forrest last year, Shane Mosley had gone 9 years without being the loser in a fight. So everyone agrees that part of the challenge coming back tonight against Raul Marquez is how to respond psychologically to the trauma of those 2 crushing defeats. For more on that, we accessed a sports psychologist for his input on the challenge. Shane Mosley's never been down in his career, and he doesn't.
One of Shane Mosley's greatest challenges is to overcome the stigma of his only 2 professional losses, both to Vernon Forrest. Critics who once heralded Shane as the best pound-for-pound fighter now question whether he has the mental toughness to come back.
I think that God has been on his side, and he's, in some kind of way, he finds a way to win the fight. I don't know if he has my number. I think that he's, a good boxer and technician, and it may be a little harder for me to fight, but I do think that I can beat him. I do think I have the stuff to beat him.
Shane is such a likable, engaging guy. You can't help but be attracted to that kind of modesty and goodness. But here, I think the will to win and the competitive fire isn't brought to the surface.
Dr. Fran Pirazzolla is a sports psychologist and mental skills coach whose list of credits includes the New York Yankees and boxer Evander Holyfield.
Well, it's the game. It's the whole game. I mean, I'm fond of saying that baseball or golf or whatever, boxing, is 100% physical and it's 100% mental. If you don't get with that right away, you're in trouble.
Well, in the first fight, when he came in and he got me with the head, it distracted me, and then I didn't take the proper time to recuperate and recover, and it kind of knocked me off focus when that happened. And I think that was the deciding part of that fight.
This is such a vivid, visceral autopsy of the fight. I mean, you feel that he was, as he says, knocked off his focus, knocked off his feet. And I think that in our training, we ought to be prepared to handle whatever comes. Be prepared to handle any distraction, any annoyance, any change in strategy, anything from the outside.
Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher Curt Schilling knows a thing or two about winning and losing. As one of the best players in baseball today, Schilling has recorded 155 career wins. But he's also lost 108 times.
If someone's beating me consistently, I'll figure out a way to beat them at some point, sooner rather than later. But to me, that defines excellence. People that can adjust and get better regardless of the scenario or the situation.
Between the first and second fight, I just went into it thinking that it's going to be it's another fight. And I took mentally and physically, I was prepared and I was ready and to go in there and offset his style.
Look, humans learn by trial and error, and it has great value to make a mistake, to lose, and then to make an adjustment. I would want him to think a lot about losing, and I would want to capture the negative energy and emotion to drive his workouts, his training, and sharpen his focus. Not forget about the failure.
When I'm struggling against somebody, I'll address all the external issues and look around and see what I feel like I need to do physically, and then I'll do it mentally. I've already gotten them beat in my mind, and I've seen myself beat them over and over and over again. Now it just becomes a play that I have to act out.
The technique of playing out this inner rehearsal is called visualization. Dr. Pirozzolo used this form of mental training to prepare Evander Holyfield for his second fight with Riddick Bowe.
This is an example of the positive visualization that we wanted Evander to have. It depicts a Christ-like figure with his hand on Evander's shoulder, bringing the fight to Riddick Bowe. 6 months later, after we did this painting, Evander fought a much better fight and beat Riddick Bowe.
As Shane Mosley faces a new weight division and an uncertain future in the ring, he'll be doing it alone, without a sports psychologist, relying on his own experiences, past and present.
Now my life is good. I feel confident. I feel comfortable, and I just feel like getting into the ring and doing it again.